I don't know if you like pattern colored socks as much as I do, but I also hate doing laundry, and so I never pair them together because I don't want to take the time and find the match. All right, Thursday over at the West Loop location. Today is my day with clients, so show a little bit of that. We try and get some video of the team working today. Also going to introduce a new segment to the vlog, so hopefully you like that. Well, that was fun, doing some hair. All right, so here's a new segment that I want to share with you guys. Okay, so if you're like me, you've been in business classes before, and they tell you to make systems, that you need systems for success. And it is true, but also like, what are you talking about? So I want to share with you the way that I have sort of visualized in my mind how we operate a salon. As business owners, this is what we think about when we think about your business. This is your salon in its entirety. And so this is how I have always mentally thought about the divisions inside of our salon, or maybe even just the responsibilities that are inside of our salon. Your culture is everything that is your values, that is what makes you you. It's your mission, it's your purpose. This cannot be duplicated by anybody else. No matter if they take your same handbook, they copy the same exact paint color that's on your wall, your same marketing. They cannot replace the culture, because the culture is unique to who you are, and that is the driving force that leads to everything else. The experience is everything that the client engages with when they're in the salon. So simply, or the simplest way to think about it, is what senses are we engaging when the client comes in? What do they see? What do they smell? What do they taste? What do they hear? What do they touch? And trying to figure out how are we going to engage those senses in a way that they are going to remember. Now, your culture creates the teamwork that's going to create the experience. Without culture and without happy people, they're not going to deliver a happy experience. So if the experience in your salon is hurting, I would bet that it's because the culture is hurting. Next section, education. Okay, so we can have great people, but in order for us to deliver a great experience, we have to teach people how to do it. We have to have trainings. We have to have trainings on the systems. Even just on the creative side, we can't deliver great haircuts and colors without our team being educated. And that's not just taking them out of beauty school and putting them on the floor. That's then getting them on the floor and driving their career forward so that they can progressively get better and better and better. Next is your branding. Now look at how the wheel starts to work here. Your culture is directly related to your branding. Branding is not about just like pretty hair on Instagram and what you're going to feature in terms of the content. Content is important. Knowing what platform you want to participate on is important. But branding is about the feeling that you want the customer to get from you. Right now, I feel like the market is saturated on pretty hair. So if you want to do branding, to me, do it based on your culture. Do it based on your experience. Show the things that make you unique and make you special. reservations. All right, so maybe in a bigger salon like ours, you're gonna have somebody dedicated to the front desk that's gonna handle reservations. It's super important because that person is oftentimes the first person that somebody engages with in your business before they come to see you. Whether that's via email, via phone, doing a confirmation call, something along those lines. So having systems to guarantee that that stuff happens is really important. Maybe you're a solo person, okay? And you're thinking, well, I'm not gonna have a reservationist in my salon because it's just me. That's fine, but you still need to have systems in order to confirm your reservations, whether that's software or a time you save for yourself at the end of the day. But reservations are almost a separate part of the rest of the salon. Is your numbers, okay? And again, education and numbers are directly related. And I would say that the experience and the reservations are directly related. So why are numbers important? Well, numbers are important because this is a business and we have to know our numbers if we're going to operate in a good way. But also, if we don't educate ourselves on our numbers, we only continue to push the stereotype that this isn't a career, it's a hobby, and that is not the right thing that we want to do. Okay, so in addition to education from a technical standpoint, we want to educate people on a numbers standpoint. And a business that's operating at a loss isn't going to stay around very long. So even if you're just a stylist watching this and you're thinking like, well, I don't care about numbers. If that salon closes, you're going to care about those numbers real quick. So numbers are vital to the salon operating. So with all of this, what does the owner do? Does the owner do all of it? Kind of, but also not totally. So to me, the owner sits here in the center. The owner has to have their hands in everything so that they touch every part of the business. At the same time, you have to involve others so that all of this flows together. Okay? So I already talked and mentioned like maybe you have reservationists to help you coordinate stuff. Maybe you have somebody in the salon that helps you in terms of hiring or setting up fun days like tracking people's birthday or what are we going to do for the salon anniversary. All those things sort of fall under culture. Maybe you have a salon manager or proteges to help you make sure that the experience goes really well. Education. You can have people on your team to help you with education, and even within that, maybe you can split up the responsibilities. Maybe somebody takes cutting, somebody takes color, somebody takes styling, so that there's room for everybody if they want to participate. Branding. You can totally get people involved in helping create content or being a part of the storytelling that goes on in your business. And finally, numbers. You know, this is maybe where the owner has to be most involved because it is your business. But even with that, you can still find help with a manager or outsourcing some of the numbers to like a CPA or an actual dedicated accountant. Okay, so now with that visual, it should kind of help you kind of think about your own business and like where do we need the most improvement or where do we need to step it up or where do we need to invest? I'll tell you, in our experience back in 2008, crazy time, right? That was when we opened our River North location and had moved it from the original location that we had. At that time, we invested in the experience and we invested in education because we knew that if we could invest in those areas, we would be better for it when we came out the other side. So right now, I hope this helps. I hope that this gives you some structure for you to visualize in your business and kind of like pushes you to grow through this moment that we're in.